Now, who doesn't like Disney World? See, the fact is, in fact, how many of you have ever been to Disney World? Don't raise your hands because I can't see you, okay? So, if you've been to Disney World, how many of you have ever had a bad time at Disney World? If any of you ever had a bad time at Disney World, here's my suggestion. I want you to go to the veterinarian, spend $100, and have yourself put to sleep. How can you have a bad time at the happiest place on earth? You can't have that happen to you. But why Disney? Look at this place. Now, if you've been to Disney World in Florida, it's what, 30-some years old, opened in the early 70s? 30-some years old. Looks like it just opened yesterday. But why do I want to talk about Disney? Here's why. Because back in the 70s, some of the greatest training programs ever. When you thought of a salesperson, what came to mind? When you thought, wow, this is a crackerjack salesperson. This person, and you just one look at them, you go, ooh, they were a pro. Who were those people? IBM salespeople, Xerox salespeople, Procter & Gamble, AT&T, 3M, More Business Forms, NCR. I can go on and on. There was dozens of companies, but here's the deal. When I mention these companies or these salespeople, they were crackerjack salespeople. They were trained. Very simple. When you think of today's salespeople, what do you think of? Plaid pants, striped sport jacket, conning, slick, dishonest. Reason being, it's mostly true. You ready for this statistic? I've used this before. It's true. 97% of the salespeople in America are average to below average. I love when a salesperson goes, oh, I made quota. Ooh, you mean you just paid for yourself. You just were able to have the company afford you to keep you there. You just made quota. I'm not impressed. Ooh, that's so special. No, that's nothing. That means you just became average. You can live in a trailer park the rest of your life. That's no big deal. The thing that's important is going above quota. So why the 70s? Here's why. Back in the 70s, they trained people. They really trained people. They trained people on how to sell. Not just, here's your book, here's your sale, here, go read some information, here's some product knowledge, go sell. See, what's funny though, today's world, what happens? Where do we spend our money? You think of companies like Disney. Oh yeah, they train the people on customer service. So does Nordstrom. So does LL Bean. So does Ritz-Carlton. But where do most sales organizations put their money today? IT, the internet, their website. We don't train like we used to. You don't see the level of salespeople like we used to. It's a shame. Small businesses made up America. Small businesses become big business. Look at all the dot-com companies. They didn't start off big. They start off small, and everybody else buys them. Then they get folded into that big company. So we have to go back to the basics. Yes, the basics. Training and how to train salespeople on the basics. You got to go through some sort of program. Now, whether you're listening to the stuff we're giving you today or tomorrow, it's ongoing. You're just not going to train for 2 weeks and go, okay, you've been through training, let's go. See, the problem is most people know product knowledge. They know product knowledge. They haven't been trained on selling skills. You ready for this? 90% plus of a salesperson is the science and the art form of sales. Not the product, not the service, the science of it. So most people today are trained to dump information. They're trained to spew out the stuff, to tell you about the product. They're not trained to walk out and know what's going on with the customer. Know what they want, know what they need, not what you think they need or want. So training is just, it's non-existent. I wish we can go back to the 70s for that reason, just for the great training. But obviously you've invested in yourself, or your company's invested. You one of the two. The stuff is here. You continue to watch us, but not just today. A guy like me, my own book. I got to read my own book every year and a half to remember the stuff that I wrote. Why? I forget. We forget so many things. So why the 70s? Simplicity. Keep it simple. Keep it real. Don't complicate it. I love when you go into places and they make it real complicated. Well, we've got this quadrant A, quadrant B, this kind of selling. We've got this, No. As I tell my friends, my best friends know this, that I can't believe I get paid money to teach people things they already know, they'll still do nothing about. Common sense basics, going back and asking questions. Dale Carnegie came up with 1936. He stole his stuff from Socrates and Jesus. That stuff is over 2,000 years old. Your job is to find out what customers want. Not fancy, nothing fancy. Simple, basics, right to the point. Let's go back to the 70s. In fact, I recommend, Xerox had a course called PSS, Professional Selling Skills, one of the best out there. Try to find some older courses, some older books. I mean, one of the best books of all time for anybody, anything by Napoleon Hill. This stuff doesn't go away. It's timeless. Success is right here. Product knowledge will change. selling skills will never change. Have never changed, will never change. And most important, I just finished this incredible book. Somebody gave it to me. Well, it wasn't a whole book, it was excerpts of a book on this new stuff on relationship selling. Brand new stuff, fabulous, all about relationship selling. It was written in 1863. Yeah, that's during President Lincoln's time. 1863. There's nothing new. So if you ever hear there's new stuff in selling, not true. There's technology, which we'll talk about another time. That's new. Selling skills is not. Will never change. Thanks for your time.